I'm Akademiks. Can't ride
Gotta
no
get to this. What beef you and Charlemagne got that has now turned into you're the donkey of the day? That was an excruciating lashing. He said a few things. He said a few things where he basically almost called you a fraud. He said, I met Ray Daniels in the past, and from what he said he was using media as a vehicle to get back in the music industry, almost to say like you were just an insincere character willing to do anything to try to save your spot. Could you give me the full context of your relationship with Charlemagne and what has happened this week? I want to just give you the floor.
Well, first of all, Charlemagne is the GOAT, and he's someone who I always looked up to. I've always put it in the universe. I want to work with Charlemagne. Number one. I came to the Black Effect podcast event that he had. We met backstage. I was like, yo, I was surprised he knew who I was. So he's like, yo, I watch your shit. I'm like, so I told him, I was like, yo, bro, like, I tell this to everybody. I'm like, I can't lie, man. Like, I only started talking on the internet to get a job, not to get back in music. I had the #1 stream song of 2025. Okay? So it's like, I don't need to get back in music, right? It was just, I wanted to get another job. That's what I said. So #1, but I've said that every podcast. So he was like, so I guess he gave me his number. I didn't think nothing of it. And then I put out this video where I compares Jay-Z to Donald Trump. And I wasn't doing it in a negative manner, by the way. It wasn't like I was saying they both bad people. I'm saying they both know how to win. And sometimes we're so emotional, we focus on the man instead of focusing on what the man does to win. So I did that, right? So Charlemagne calls me. First time he calls me. By the way, I'm excited because I'm like, man, this is the GOAT. He's on the phone. Then he's like, yo, that Jay-Z thing you said wasn't cool. So we talk about the Jay-Z thing for like 30 minutes. I'm telling him how I feel.
Wait. So the first time you interact with him outside of this what is it? The Black Effect music?
Black Effect.
Okay. So the first is he calls you and he vehemently disagrees on how you know.
He asked me to chill out on Jay-Z talk, and I was like, okay, why?
Really?
So he tells me, he tells me why he wants me to chill out. He says, like Jay-Z's a good guy. He does a lot of stuff, and I just think it's unfair what you're doing. So I'm like, I thought it was noble. I love that he did that. Like, I was like, man, a black man calling for another black man. So I said that. All of this I said to him, by the way. And then I also said,
hold on. I got to slow this down here. I don't mean to cut you off.
Let's go.
But listen, Charlemagne is someone I've looked up to as well. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll even use a better example. I've always told the chat, the first time I ever talked to Drake hit me up because of a post that we put up that had to do with XXX. Basically, X's fans was on Drake's ass. But, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is that him hit me up at that time wasn't him like, hey, Ak, I'm trying to get a relationship with you. That was because of X. And I wholeheartedly, that was him, in my mind, that was him acknowledging that X's fans is on his ass, and he needed to mitigate that. That was not him trying to have a relationship with Ak. Okay?
Got it.
That didn't come till later. Okay? So at a later point, I could tell that he was hitting me up because he could see the value of me as a media member. And I could tell, okay, he wants to bridge that gap and have that that particular relationship. Did you not find it a little bit odd if he calls you up, Charlemagne, and he's vouching for another guy? He's like, yo, your take on Jay might be a little bit heavy. Jay's a great guy. That's not even seeming. I mean, obviously, it's Charlemagne hitting you up, but that doesn't seem like he's like, oh, I fuck with you. It seems like he's.
Yeah, he was just basically like, let me know, like, ease up on the J talk. And by the way, I told him I would. I was like, yo, bro, I'm human. No problem, bro. So then I said, I'm going to tell my audience that you called me. And he goes, don't tell him I called you. And he
Nah,
and he said,
this is
tell him
good.
anybody else. He said, tell him that anybody else called you except for me. Like, so I thought that was weird, but I hung up the phone. I just got it. I wasn't tripping on it. And then the Wayno thing goes out, and then I see that Charlamagne has something to do with the casino, and his name was when you aired it out, Rock Nation. There, when I saw that, I was like, oh,
Hey, by the way,
this.
again, and I'm sorry, we got to
Nah,
slow
go
this
ahead.
down. We got to slow this down. As you say that, right, in that conversation you had with him, I saw a couple other podcasters. There's these guys. I think their thing is called like Homeroom University or something. They have the same story that
Oh, really?
Charlamagne reached out to them, basically would kind of like give them, like little pointers on their opinion, and essentially it was more. They felt after a while it was more to steer their opinion in certain ways rather than it was, hey, I'm reaching out because I fuck with you and I'm trying to build with you. Now, as you said, he said to you, don't tell anyone you talk to me. I think he told them niggas too. Don't tell them you talk to me. Did that not ring any bells at the time?
It was weird to me, but it was also like I get it. Sometimes, like I looked at it like it was a respect thing for me. Like, yo, respectfully, bro, you got chill, no problem. Like, I get it. They told you to call me, no problem. Or maybe you called me on your own, no problem. I just wanted to know, was he in business with them? That was my question. That was the question I needed to know. So you don't have no business with them.
So
He said no.
did you ask that verbatim?
Verbatim. I said, because I said, I think what you're doing is really noble. But do you have business with him, first of all? He was like, nah, I don't have no business with him. And I was like, this is dope as fuck, bro. Like, it inspired me to call other people for people. Like, that inspired me. That's why I was so, like, I loved it. I was like, man, this is what you do when you get to a certain level. And then I saw his name on that paperwork. I was like, that's whack, bro. That's whack.
Let me ask you a question. So you saw obviously what we all saw, which was that he had something to do with a business arrangement that clearly was them trying to bring a casino to Times Square. Did you ever reach out to him otherwise and be like, hey, just like how you reach out to me about Jay before, hey, what's up with this before I speak on it publicly?
I wasn't gonna speak on it publicly. I literally spoke on it and I said, hey, like I saw, what really made me know, I'm gonna be honest with you. You want me to tell you what made me know he fucked with Rock Nation more than ever?
What?
His interview with you. That changed it for me. I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
And he kept saying, he kept trying to get you to meet them. And I was like, why is he trying to get him to meet them so bad? And then he said, Dez is so nice. Now, mind you, I've been in business 21 years. I've just started hearing Dez's name in the last 5 or 6 years. And when I heard it like she was the boogeyman. Don't play with her. She don't play. She gangster as fuck. She'll take, like, it was like, don't play with her. So it was the first time I ever heard somebody talk about how she was sweet. I'm like, he gotta be compromised saying that. I don't even think she would say that about herself. Like,
I'll tell you what tipped me off, right? And this is when sometimes you feel like you meet somebody and they're what you call a mutual arbiter, or they're in the middle. They're in the middle of two parties. They don't, they're not really picking a side. They got relationships with both. And that's what I thought with Charlamagne too. You know what told me he's probably more on the side of Rock Nation than, me, I'm looking up to him as a mentor. I'm looking him up to as a guy who I try to model my career after to some extent. The moment when he listened to what I would say and he said, yeah, Ak, you're kind of like, you're coming off as manic. And I would say, well, you tell me what they have said about me. And it was a blank. It was like, oh, clearly I'm here to receive info to bring back, not here to try to bridge a gap and be like, oh no, like I've talked to Des. Yeah, I've brought you up to Des. That's got nothing, Our first convo, he claimed that Jay-Z and Desiree Perez were too big. They wouldn't know what's going on with Drake or me. Then when we see what happened at the Roots picnic, he was just in denial that they have had any opinion. So I'm like, yo, listen, so I said, why? You said you were going to call on Monday to figure out whatever. He said, well, you went online and you said X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, okay, could you just tell me what's their demeanor to me? he wouldn't say a word. That's when I knew he was not a independent mutual. You know, you friends with two niggas that don't like each other, and you play in the middle. You got to play the middle right. You can't play. You can't play to the extra right where you're like, yo, all right, I'm gonna tell you everything he say, and I'm gonna just like shit talk, and I'm just not gonna. No, you're either gonna be the person that says, nah, they're down to meet. Oh, nah.
Yep.
Nothing came back, and I learned from that. Okay, so you watched that interview and you kind of seen what the fuck, and you probably felt like you probably got taken for a ride as well, a little bit, right?
Yeah, but see, I also knew I don't have the cachet with Charlemagne to call him out. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. So for me, it was just like, oh, that was just like, okay, noted. I know that from now on, that you'll lie to me. It's cool. But I wasn't tripping. But it was the donkey of the day was like, oh, you just really, you with them now. Like, what you have to do with it? I didn't even say nothing about you.
Well, there has to be something more that goes into it. And I've been saying this for a while to say that attack seemed personal. Not only did it seem personal, it seemed that I'm pretty sure, like, whether on Brilliant Idiots later or wherever he's going to address this at, he's probably going to say, you know what, I had a bad run-in with Ray. You know, I talked to him on the side. He was always an asshole. I just always never respected it. Because it can't be that rumor you put out was so light. Like, everyone's been saying that
it was light.
An album is coming out. What was kind of more of a exclusive was you saying he's waiting for a partner. But even then, that's not a big deal where people could be like, hey, this guy's lying.
Yeah, like I've been saying on my show for the last 3 months, Jay-Z is not dropping an album without a partner. He is not about to make that mistake. He's smarter than that. I'm giving him props in my mind. I'm giving him props. Like, this is what brilliant artists do. I don't realize that I'm making enemies by giving someone, like, credit and credibility. That's crazy to me.
So, so the donkey of the day for you was just, it wasn't anything you did that preempted that.
Nah, bro, bro, like, and people call me like he's trying to end you on the radio. He's giving you, I'm like, no way. Like, and even when they brought the thing with T.I., when they asked T.I., like, do you, Ray Dan, you said you chase hits. I'm like, why would y'all bring it up that way? It's like, are y'all shooting at me for no reason? Even today with Tony Yayo, it's like Tony Yayo talks about Memphis Bleak and Ray Daniels. What do I have to do with? I don't even know Yayo. I never even met him before.
That was such a ridiculous donkey today. I'll put it like this. I've gotten info from a label to leak, and the label has denied the info, but it's all the way true. They've given me the info to leak. Well, we all know how this game gets played. It was so crazy that he's jumping on the side of. We've seen what Rock Nation or the Instagram said. He jumped on it so definitive to say that you were the type of person, and he kind of characterized you to lie, to, you know, kind of be like just a deceptive, fraudulent person who would say anything for attention. I was like, damn, that's what he thinks about you.
Bro, that bothered me because, like I said, I don't know you and you don't know me. So why would you assume that I'm all... Matter of fact, I actually know way more about you than you know about me because I've known you for 20 years. You didn't know me until recently. So I've always been a Charlemagne fan. So I know, I've seen all his interviews. I've seen it all. So for me, it was like, it was messed up, but ain't nothing you could do about it. And it also tells me that he's working for some people, because why would you do that to somebody? Like, when's the last time Charlemagne said something bad about a podcaster? Honestly, he picks up everybody's podcast.
Yeah, well, the last time I can remember would be when and he's apologized for it, when he got at Joe during Joe's negotiation with Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep, you're right. Last time.
And he even admitted it during the interview with me that basically he should have minded his business. But he definitely took a opportunity to take a shot at you. Okay, so I seen the response, and again, I think all the responses, despite what Wayno says, I think if I'm you, I'm dragging it too. This is a good month of content for me. Listen, let one of these rappers mention me. We're talking about it for half the year. It's just going to be good. The right one mention me, it's going to be, you know, Wayno could get dissed by Drake and talk about it for one episode. The right one diss me, I'm talking about it for the next year. So I got no problem with you doing that.
My brother.
I guess the question I have for you, right, is now that we have seen that initial donkey of the day, I heard you say something which I want to just confirm. You don't believe Charlemagne got that much time that he's calling around for info on you, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I got a call from a very successful friend of mine in the music business, like 7 in the morning. Like, yo, they looking at they. He said, dude is looking into you. He didn't say who dude was. So I don't know if it's somebody else's dude, but he said he's looking into you. But my thing is that, like I said, like I think he thinks the internet made me. Like I've been around him. Like, dog, I've been in the music business 20 years. Like, I've been around him. It's just weird that he's like looking in, but look into me. Go ahead, do your work, bro. You ain't gonna find nothing. There's nothing to find. I'll tell myself before somebody air me out.
Why do you think? Let's go to La La Land, Manic Land, because that's what you know. If you kind of if you put a little 2 and 2 together, you're manic. If we're being manic here, why would you think that the Jordan of hip hop media has discussed you, is responding to you, and seemingly wants to make sure you're either you're on code in terms of your talking points, or he wants to make sure that you're devalued in terms of your opinion? Why you, and why do you think he's coming at you?
I think he's coming at me because they told him to, or he told them he'll do it.
So who's they? I think hold on, we gotta flush it out.
I think they is someone at Rock Nation. I don't know. I don't think it's Jay-Z. I don't think Jay-Z cares anything about this, but I think it's someone at Rock Nation. And I only know this because, like, you know, like I said, I worked there. I was friends with people there, and I've heard my name comes up, and it's never positive. It is like, so for me, it feels like someone said, I think you might need to go kill this nigga for us. And he was like, got you.
And by the way, chat, I'll give you, you know, I'll give you what I've heard, which I don't think I've said this before. In speaking to many people, even previous partners of Jay-Z, this is what I've heard. They say all the fuck shit you're seeing with Rock Nation, as much as you think is Jay-Z, Jay-Z is just a face and a name. It's Desiree Perez. Desiree runs that shit like it's her cartel, it's her mob. When you see Charlemagne pictured with her, they're not going to Jay's office for permission to do something. If Desiree says it's happening, it's happening. Charlemagne, his relationship isn't with Jay-Z, it's with Desiree. So if Desiree is the person, right? Remember, former rat for the cartel. I used to work for cartel. If she has the power and authority to say, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z, or we're going at this person, it makes sense why it seems that he's so close with her. Because we've never heard him even say any. He defends Jay-Z, but we've never seen him vouch for even Jay-Z's character, like how, well, I mean, I guess he has in some, but him and Desiree, that's the connection. But I've heard that Jay-Z isn't the person who is, you know, moving the chess pieces to say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I've heard it's Desiree. That's what I've heard. So when I saw the picture he posted, it makes sense. Now, most people don't know Desiree in the bigger hip-hop community. But when he posted him and her, it made more sense to me because I said, yeah, it's a possibility that Jay-Z, I mean, he probably somewhat knows, but he doesn't know every single detail. Charlemagne and this woman is just doing whatever they want to do. They're tag team.
They try to jump niggas out here. So that's what I think happened. I think somebody said you need to deal with that. And once they said it, he just came at me. He said, I got him. Don't worry about it. But I don't think he did his research on who I was. He just thought that he could, like, just say, why? Like, dog, I got friends everywhere, bro. Like, he can't fuck with me, bro. Like, and none of that. I built myself. You can't fuck with me, bro. It's like, and I built the first 10 years of my career. I'll tell you this. The first 10 years of my career, my whole life, I spent lifting people up. I get 20% of what somebody make. I got to take nobody and make them some money so I could eat. He spent the first half of his career knocking people down. We just in different walks right now. Don't get me wrong. I get it that you're doing it, but even now, it feel like it's off brand for him. I think this is a misstep for him. I think this is a bad move for him. Because I feel like he became the people's champ. We started forgetting who he was. And now people are like, why you fucking with this guy again? What's the problem?
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out what's his goal at this point. After the contract signing, it feels like I always thought that he was one of those people because he always quotes these books that he supposedly reads, the 48 Laws of Power, that says you defend your reputation. Right
At
now,
all
I've
costs.
never seen everything he's worked for in the minds of people like me. I've studied every move, I've heard every quote by him. He says you got to be of the people, of the industry. He's always said he's going to always choose the people. This is the first time I've seen him blatantly in front of the public toss a match and gasoline into the reputation and say, fuck it. I just got to get this off. And
I saw the same thing.
That to me is odd. That to me is odd. Like, I can't understand that. And I've chalked it up to say he must have $1 billion play associated. And I think people keep asking the wrong question. Does Charlemagne work for Rock Nation? I don't think he ever has or ever will. I think Charlemagne, as a point, is realizing that what he brings in media, he could in some ways partner with them. And that's the thing. It's like when an artist says, "Are you signed?" Be like, "I'm not signed to a label. I'm partnered with a label." But you know, goddamn, what we talking about.
Yeah, well, what you talking about? You signed them niggas. You can't do nothing without their permission.
Exactly. So the conversation with Charlemagne, I think it's going to be, I like to say the Charlemagne tactic is a sleight of hand. Will you ever find him on payroll? I don't think so. Will you find him with mutual aligned business interests? I think we always will.
Yes. Agreed. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's on payroll, but I think, Jay-Z has always controlled the press. Him and Dame, that's how they played. That's why nobody knew the breakup was coming when it was coming. They always controlled the press. So I can see Jay-Z being like, let's get the biggest man in media and let's compromise him a little. Let's give him some things that he probably wouldn't have access to without us, and then expect certain loyalty from him when it's time.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's what I think is happening. I just think that, he working for him because, they listen, man, he trying to come up, bro. I ain't mad at him about it. Just don't fuck with me, bro. Leave me out that shit. Don't fuck with me on their behalf. Because, like I said, I'm not going back down. And I know what's really going. Like, they don't understand. Like, I know what's happening with the rollout and everything, bro. I get it. If you want me to talk, just ask me not to talk and I won't talk. But don't send people to donkey or to date me because I'm not going for that shit, bro.
Have you talked to him or tried to talk to him privately?
Nah, I want to, but I heard that he said on the Brilliance podcast that I don't want to be cool with nobody who says anything for clicks. And I put that on my kids. Bro, I don't love nothing in the world more than I love my children. On my children, I don't say that. I never said it in my life, I say anything for clicks and likes. I'm too smart for that shit. Why would that don't even make sense. So when he's saying that, it's like, oh, that's what you're doing? Okay, cool. You're going to say I lied. You're going to say I said something I didn't say and say I don't want to talk to people that do that. Act on my children. I never said nothing about clicks and views. I'll pay anybody 10 grand if they can find any footage of Ray Daniels saying, I'm just saying what I got to say to get clicks and views. Nigga, that ain't even me.
This is a very interesting turn of events. Essentially, I watched him ignore all the follow-up questions we had from my conversation with him, which I think is valid. Hey, listen, I saw you come to the interview. You were prepared, but now in hindsight, you were prepared with a lot of AI things. I don't think he wants to answer that question. Now he's kind of like angling towards you, and I look at it, I'm like, it's kind of odd, man. I don't know. It's kind of odd.
Listen, man, it's sometimes, bro.
Do you think he was trying to take you out?
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, nigga, you're lying on me. Like, you basically saying he wants a job. You'll never get a job. I don't need a job no more. I make more money for my company than I ever make from a job in the industry. So it's like now it's like you ain't even hurting me, bro. You just look stupid, bro. So he absolutely was trying to take me out. And let me ask you a question. How many people that you know Charlamagne has had a problem with, and he's always said, come talking with us on the Breakfast Club?
Mm-hmm.
Why he never said that to me?
That's interesting.
Because you don't want me there, because you know what I'm going to say when I come, and you can't control what comes out of my mouth. See, Dame can come all day. They don't care. Dame gonna say crazy shit. They gonna say nobody believe you. They're gonna think you're only a hater. Me, on the other hand, I'm just waiting for the invite. I'll come whenever. I'm coming. I'll come anytime.
Let me ask you this question though, because I I I left with this takeaway after the sit down with him. I was like, when I sat down with him, I was trying to be so transparent. Obviously, I wanted to bring things back together. But I don't think that a sit down even now, like I think it's gonna be some BS. Like you think if he brought you to the Breakfast Club, like what do you think would happen?
Well, for me, I don't know what happened, but I absolutely want to ask, do we have problems? And if we do, let's talk it out right now.
Do you think he'll
Like,
tell you that?
nigga, I want to understand, Act, you know how this shit is, bro. All we got is our reputation. Nigga, my family eats off my reputation. My mother, my
Brother,
kids,
I
everybody.
thought the same thing, and the nigga brought an AI website in there with me, bro.
Yeah, bro, what's that about, bro? Like,
No. So I'm guessing what I'm asking you is that, in one context, do you believe that maybe a sit down would be either a remedy, or would it just be for you like, you know what, you want to get your chance to represent your point of the discussion, even if it might not end in, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the way he called you out, he don't fuck with you, bro. Clear.
no, he don't.
Clear.
He don't. He obviously don't. But my thing is that you still sit on. This is the third time in the last 30 days that my name came up on the Breakfast Club. It's like, nigga, what the? Y'all, my name keep coming, but y'all want to talk to me? What's the problem? It's like, are y'all using me as a fallout guy? Whatever it is, we're going to have to get some straightening. That nigga, we're going to have to talk about that shit. That's how I feel. Like, even if it's agree to disagree and you don't say my name and I don't say your name, but for you to go that hard on me, bro, without knowing me, like, nigga, I take care of my whole family with this shit, bro. I don't play that when it comes to my name. That's my dad's name. I don't play that when it comes to a nigga attacking my name, bro. I got to talk to this nigga, bro. I got to understand what it is.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you this. To this day, me and Sherman have countless conversations on the phone. To this day, I just kind of want to, like, I feel like even when I'm talking to him in private, I'm talking in the Rock Nation office. I wish I could just say to him, like, I've always taken criticism. I've always, we've had a really decent, I want to say decent and dope relationship privately. But this new shit is like confusing me. It's like I just can't get it. I'm like, I don't know. It's weird.
It's not the guy that it's not who I thought he would be. That's what it is. Like, as somebody that's one of his fans, it's like, damn, nigga, you letting them use you like that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's weird to me, bro. It's weird to me, bro. But like I said, I want to have a conversation because my name is all I got, and I don't want the biggest nigga in media sitting on there trying to kill a nigga.
What would you think about? I seen Joe Budden's podcast talk about it, and I thought everyone was gonna be kind of like, because hip hop is kind of weird these days. I feel like a lot of these guys, they're too scared to like just say, "Yo, that shit was fucked up," or "Oh, that shit's wrong."
Yeah.
And I heard, I'm not gonna lie, Joe Budden's podcast pretty much, they called it out. They said that was unnecessary. Out of respect for Ray, we won't even play the full thing. That was too much. It feels like he's doing something for someone else. What was your thoughts when you heard Joe and his podcast crew come across with the sentiment of that wasn't some real nigga shit?
Well, for me, I love the Joe Budden crew, bro. They always got my back. They always support me. So, I saw that shit. And by the way, I feel like everybody's been saying that, but I love that Joe said it. Because I'm like, I know I ain't tripping, bro. Like, it's like, nigga, what the is these niggas trying to kill a nigga right now? Like, I seen what they did with you. That's why when you was in the interview, I said, this is what they do. They make Act look crazy. They make Act look like nigga, I know what's happening, bro. I ain't stupid.
Yeah, let me tell you this. You know how much I fuck with Charlamagne? If Charlamagne called me today and be like, yo, Act, listen, man. Yeah, you know I'm on some Rock Nation programming. Yo, Act, could you just get the fuck out the way that we could get our fucking casino, nigga? Like, you know I would chill. I promise you I would chill. If Charlamagne called me and be like, Act, bro, could you just get the fuck out the way that we could get this fucking casino? Me and Jay, we about to break down like 10 billy, nigga. Like, chill, nigga. Let me get my shit off. And yo, I'll make sure everything is good, but we need you to just shut the fuck up. If you respect me, I'm trying to get my big one off right now. Act chill. You know, I'd be like, okay, I respect you,
I got
Charla.
you. Yes, nigga, same here. Same here, nigga. Just tell me what's up, nigga. I don't want no problems with nigga. Say, all right, I need you to chill out right now. We're making a play. Chill out on Jay. All right, no problem, nigga. Hey, nigga, I got you. Easy. Swear I'm on the same energy. Just ask me what you want me to do, I do it. But don't make me the enemy, because now I got to defend myself.
Yeah, nah, it's rather interesting. I'm going to see where this kind of goes, because unfortunately, when I kind of like exposed her and stuff, I figured it was like roaches. You know when the roaches in the cereal box and you hit the lights and everybody, the roaches run back into the darkness. They just scurry away. I thought when, people were kind of aware of Charlamagne's alliance for Rock Nation and some of the things that were like alleged to have happened, I thought he would have been like, you know what? Let me not even talk about anything with Jay-Z. Instead, he doubled down and got at you. So I'm like, holy shit.
Especially after you and his interview, it's like he was like, fuck that, I'm doubling down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody was like, nigga, you ain't think. Like, I wish I was his friend. If I was Charlamagne's friend, I would call him and be like, yo, bro, ease up a little. Because even as your homie, it looks crazy.
Do you think Desiree or Jay is sending him? Or is he just doing it for extra credit?
I think... I hate you, nigga. That's a great question.
You know, it's one of those. It'll be like, yo, listen, because I had this conversation with him too. If I was in business, like, okay, well, first of all, here's the difference between Charlamagne. I'm gonna be honest about the people I'm in business with.
Yes, me too.
I work with Steak. Okay, so here's the thing. Steak has never told me, Act, you should speak on our behalf or speak in defense of. Never. However, if we're having a conversation, you're like, man, I don't fuck with them niggas at Steak. I might speak up and be like, nah, man, hold on now. You know how Steak is. You know why? Because I'm incentivized this and third, and I have a different perspective of them. They didn't send me, but that's where I'm kind of getting like my defense from.
That's my motherfucking people, and I got it back.
The thing with Charlamagne, and that's what Joe was saying, is like, we don't know if he's being sent or he's just defending because that's his people's. Like, it's kind of like really unclear.
Yes, bro. I will hope that they sent him. I will hope that he wouldn't volunteer to kill a nigga on a come up to prove his loyalty to somebody. I pray that they sent him. That's what I really would say. If he did it to prove himself, it's like, you's a nigga. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm about to watch the Rob Markman video. I basically broke down all the details. These days, hip hop and, with this journalism or media spaces, there's too much money in hip hop. This is why I covered a topic yesterday and I said, yo, they're talking about hip hop declining, but hip hop is still the most streamed genre. Like, it used to be 40% of 40% of every 100 songs. So 40 out of 100 songs streamed would be hip hop. Now it's 30 out of 100. Still number one. It's still the most streamed genre. And I was looking at that. I was like, yo, the thing that people don't realize even about hip hop and just like where, culture and even media is that there's so much fucking money at stake. I said this in my Vlad interview. but I didn't really get to flush it out. When I was trying to get into media, obviously Star from Star and Buckwild, he was, one of the goes, and third.
Yeah.
When I heard about these big radio contracts, to put it in perspective, Star had supposedly, and I don't want to speak on it, obviously it's public knowledge now, but if I'm misquoting him, I apologize if he hears this. I remember he had signed a multi-year deal for $7 million. And I was like, damn, the top guy in hip-hop media. At one point, he beat Howard Stern in ratings. I said $7 million for a couple years. That's the top of the top for media. Damn, if only I could do that. Yes. I just looked up on the Forbes list and shit. I'll just look around. There's multiple people making 10 plus million a year now.
Yes.
There's so much money at stake that now I kind of look at it. I'm like, what are niggas down to do to increase the money they get? Because we're not talking about 7 million for like 2-3 years. We're talking about people who are now making 25 million a year. What are they down to do to keep that amount of money going, to increase that? And because there's so much money at play, I can't rule nothing out.
You're right.
We're talking about millions. We're talking about 8 figures and 9 figures. Not 7 figures. Not like under 10 million. We're talking about tens of millions or potentially hundreds of millions. What will people do? And I think we're in a scary era where it's like, if you're coming in like Ray Daniels, you're coming in like Akademiks, and you're like, you know what? Hey, we're trying to play above board. Everyone's looking at you like, nigga, are you fucking dumb? We're not like all fighting for like $20 anymore. We're fighting for $100 million.
$100 million.
You gotta slime a nigga out. You gotta snake this person. You gotta get Ray Daniels out the paint early because he's not hitting the talking points. He can't be controlled. Act the fuck out of here. It's millions of dollars. Hundreds. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And
so right, nigga.
And I'm watching you who one thing I'll give you credit for is that you've been on both sides of this. When I came into the media space, I had to go create an alter ego called Lil Act to put out a record to understand labels really and truly and actually sign a JV with the label that I could really know contracts to really know this game. You come into the media space having already known that and having contacts because you were working on the other side before. You're a bit different from most people, whether it's like, me and a lot of the new media guys who probably, before we went into media, we never knew. So when it comes to like Charlemagne and everyone else, I'm wondering how you play it and where you hope to get your goal eventually.
Well, I'll say this. My goal is to be bigger than a mid-level podcaster. I appreciate that. And that's just me being honest with you, bro. Like, Act, nobody understands. I make $1 million a year in the music business every year. Act, I manage the biggest, best songwriter in the world. Like, I was just on a fucking yacht with Pharrell yesterday. Like,
shit.
I'm really in the music business, bro. That's what niggas don't understand. It's like, I'm really in the music business every day. This is something new I'm doing. I'm good at it. And, I don't think there's nobody like me because I'm like a hybrid of a music exec and a media person. Like, nigga, I still talk to all the chairmen. I'm in the middle of 2 label deals right now. It's like, nigga, it's like, this is what I do for a living. I change lives, bro. It's just, to be honest with you, I think my business underestimated people like you. And I was watching people like you. And I'm like, them niggas is going to run the world. Why we don't go give them all the money? Like, them niggas is talking to people every day. So I've always been a nigga trying to take the music business forward. They just didn't like that shit.
Yeah. No, we're in uncharted territory. I'm excited to see what happens. I'll give you the last word in terms of what your next step is. I feel like I know how Charlemagne is going to play this. It hasn't been the best couple of weeks for him on a PR level. I think what he's gonna do is ignore it, which, again, at the end of the day, that's why he's Charlemagne. He could ignore it. No one's gonna hold his feet to the fire because he's the GOAT. That's how it works.
Exactly.
So I think he won't engage. I think he's gonna, ignore you. And I think the damage for him has been done because he's sowed seeds of distrust already with you that he probably doesn't have to come back around to water.
My thoughts is that, like, he gonna have to address me whether he wants to or not, because I am not going anywhere. And by the way, I'm going to do a huge podcast. I'm flying to Miami in the morning to do a huge podcast.
Oh shit.
To talk about this. So it's like, yeah, niggas, like, all he really did, am I being honest with you, I would just tell him thank you. I would honestly tell him thank you. You said my name like they supposed to know it, and now they're figuring it out. Appreciate you, bro. All I wanted to do is I wanted to roll with the GOAT because I felt like, nigga, I could learn from the best. Nobody's better than you, but he probably one of those I want to be the only king type nigga. So there it is.
Yeah, we'll see. I look forward to the next chapter of all of this.
I text you. I don't want to stay online when I'm going through because I know we live. I'll tell you, but yeah, I'm doing something. I'm gonna address it in a big way in the next week. Put it like that.
Okay, all right, Charlemagne. I think it's only fair that you should invite him on some platform. Doesn't have to be necessarily just a standalone sit down like you did with me. Maybe the Breakfast Club. You guys interview anybody on there. I've seen some niggas on there. Like, yo, I think Ray could make the spot, and you're the boss over there, I would imagine. Other than that, you could bring him on Brilliant Idiots or any one of your other.
Man, listen, tell him I'll be there any day he tells me to. It'll be an honor to talk to the GOAT. I just wish that the nigga didn't shoot at me. I'm a way better friend than I am an enemy to anybody.
Let me tell you this. What we're all going through with Charlemagne is a collective mourning. Because we all love him so much, we can't even talk about him like how we would talk about someone who did the offenses he did. Put it like this. My whole audience is mad at me for that sit down because I've killed people for less. And I went in, they're going to say the same thing about you. I could tell you have a tremendous respect, and that is a Jay-Z-esque type tactic where Jay-Z has so much cultural currency, he basically could have sold the black community poison at a point. And
we would have bought it.
And when they get to that level of, hey, I have that leeway, oftentimes it's abused. But
to be honest with you, that sound like Charlemagne now. It's like he's built enough leeway, 20 years of being on the radio, Breakfast Club being number one, and then now he's doing it, to me, he's doing the Jay-Z playbook. Like, he's going to a bigger machine saying, hey, all these niggas with me, give me the money, let me go get them. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm not mad at it, but it's like, it's the game that we play. They don't want to deal with all of the niggas, so they signed one nigga to deal with all the niggas. That's the game.
Put it like this. We can't talk about Charlemagne without all of us stopping to say, we love him. He's the best. We know he's the GOAT. That alone, we can't have an honest conversation because we are in disbelief of what we're seeing collectively.
Yeah, whole culture.
Collectively. Like, we're trying to give him the out at every turn, every fucking, it is what it is. But, hey, listen, I'm going to be tapped in. Obviously you have my number, so.
Sure, appreciate you, bro.
We'll definitely get up.
And let me just say something real quick, my nigga. You are, and I'm going to say this, bro. You have been killing media, my nigga. You are a fucking force, bro. I have so much admiration for you, my nigga, for how you move, bro. I always wanted to tell you that, my nigga, because a lot of people focus on the other shit. I'm like, this nigga made himself the most important voice in hip-hop. Keep killing, bro. I just want to tell you that, my nigga. You that nigga, bro. Always give you props, my nigga.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, bet.
All right, peace, my brother. Okay. Are we done with Media Wars? I think we are